Hello again, and now let's start with Fredegund's specific options. If you go down to the bottom of the BlenRig panel, you will find Fredegund's specific options. First thing that you will see is the Display Mode tab. You have several options there that go from low resolution proxy, game engine mode, Blender real-time mode, multi-res and normal maps mode, displacement maps and normal maps mode, and finally the micro displacement mode. Keep in mind that what you choose in these options will be true for both viewport display and render. So now if we go to the low resolution proxy mode, you will see that a low resolution mesh will be displayed, and with this mesh the character runs at about 50 FPS here in my computer. If we choose the game engine mode, the full resolution mesh will be displayed, but only showing the modifiers that are compatible with a game engine. With the Blender real-time mode, all the animation modifiers are enabled, so you get full control of the rig, and this mode runs at about 24 FPS. You also have the option to turn off corrective smooth, and that will increase the performance. Here you can see that it's running at about 35 FPS. Please keep in mind that performance really depends on your CPU. Here I have a 32 threads CPU, so it's currently a pretty good one, but you can expect a little bit less performance if you have an older CPU. In this mode, the mesh won't get subdivided, and if you choose Eevee, the materials will have a normal map that will show the final sculpt of the skeleton. Alright, now let's move on to the more detailed modes. The first one, and my favorite, is the multi-res and normal maps mode. In this mode, the details of the sculpt will be achieved with actual geometry because of multi-res, and the normal maps will get changed into a high-frequency details-only normal map. And that will make the multi-res level 3 look like the final sculpt, which is actually multi-res level 5. To me, this mode gives you the best balance between detail and resource usage. With the resolution sliders, you can change the resolution in case you want to display the thing in real time, for instance. Moving on to displacement and normal maps, it's basically the same amount of detail, only that this time, instead of being achieved with the multi-res modifier, it is achieved with baked displacement maps. So even though it looks good, to me it's not as faithful as the original sculpt. But keep in mind that you can use this mode in case you see any artifacts or strange things going on with deformation when you use the multi-res mode. The final mode is the micro displacement mode. In the viewport you won't see anything special, but if you switch to render mode, there you will see the details achieved with the displacement maps through the shader. Okay, now let's move back to multi-res and normal maps mode, and one thing that you must keep in mind when using this non-real-time mode is that they will use lots and lots of RAM. So you should be careful with this mode. If you're not sure that you have enough RAM, you can activate the simplify options before switching to the high resolution mode. Let's move on now to the textures options. As you see, we can set the texture resolution from 1K to 8K. Of course, in 1K, everything is super blurry. Notice the difference with 8K, that has lots of details there. The only drawback with 8K is that it uses more RAM. So I think that the best balance between resource usage and quality is 4K. For instance, you could use the 4K resolution in general, and then switch to 8K if you need to do a close-up or something. Okay, to end this video, let's quickly move to the Performance Workarounds tab, and here you can see a bunch of options. If you intend to link the character with the library overrides feature, on some computers you might experience some lag when selecting bones. For now, until library overrides are optimized, the only solution is to disable the global undo option. If you do this, of course, you will get a warning because disabling global undo will make undo not work properly. So use this option carefully. Alright, now let's go back to Blender real-time mode and about Eevee performance. If I play back this, you'll see that it's running at 2 frames per second. That is because Eevee has serious problems displaying normal maps. So with the Eevee normal maps toggle buttons, you can turn normal maps off. And as you see, now the rig is running at 10 FPS, which is totally manageable you know, for posing and doing stuff in Eevee. Needless to say is that, as we previously saw, displaying the rig in solid mode in the viewport is much faster. Also remember that this normal maps toggle feature affects render, so keep that in mind and turn them on again before rendering. Alright, I hope that you think that this is looking awesome, right? In the next video we will cover some more character specific options, and especially things that will let you customize a character a lot. So, rock on, happy blending, and see you next time. Oh, and don't forget to check the BlenRig song, you know, because it's cool, it's rock and roll. Yeah. Ooh.